Before I get started, let me tell you about my absolutely wacky RWBY dream that I had last night. So it was back in the tournament for some reason. All of the girls had on new outfits, not like the new outfits that were shown at RTX, different ones. Weiss had the worst hairdo I think I've ever seen, like Padme Amidala level of bad. And it was some kind of school-on-school type tournament where 4 teams from each school were sort of versing each other. One of Beacon's teams was Team RWBY, and then 12 other completely random people that aren't even in the show and I've never seen before. It was absolutely chaotic. I don't remember how it ended or anything like that. It was just weird. Just thought I'd share that with you. That is the 3rd time this year I've had a stress dream about RWBY. Hey, what's up guys? I am She-Noob. It's gonna be so weird for me to edit this and not put that little Volume 3 intro in before I say that. So RTX 2016 wrapped up last weekend. Look at me making a video a week late again, I know. For those of you who aren't aware of RTX, it is Rooster Teeth's annual convention that they hold in Austin, Texas. And they're also holding one now in Australia as well every year. And every year at RTX since RWBY began, they've tried to show something at RTX, have a panel or 2 in this year's case, and talk about as much as they possibly can coming up for the show. They showed quite a bit this year in contrast to last year where they didn't really show that much because they started so late. So I'm going to talk about everything that was discussed on the RWBY panel. Only the second panel though, because unfortunately the first RWBY panel, when it was streamed on Twitch, the audio wasn't working, so we didn't know what they were saying. But the second one thankfully has worked. And I have seen the entire panel. There was also a clip that was shown on that panel. I'm sure many of you will have already seen that clip. Yes, I have seen it. No, I'm not going to talk about it today. I will give you my opinions on that clip when it is finished and released for the public. And no, I'm not going to provide anybody with any links. If you want to see it in its current state, go look for it of your own volition. I don't want to get involved. I find it's not as satisfying watching those clips through somebody's phone when they've recorded it at the panel, because it's really hard to see what's going on. It's hard to hear what's going on. Also, it's not completely finished yet, but I do go and watch the clips that they release early for research purposes. I like to watch the footage go through its various stages of development so I can get a bit of a clearer picture about exactly how much it evolves over time. In case you're wondering, Kerry did say that that clip would be released for the public around 2 months from now. He didn't really want to give a proper figure, so it's not going to be too much longer before it's out. Also, I have a couple of announcements to make at the end of the video, so make sure you watch the whole thing because all of it is important. There are a couple of main things that they did allow the people on the stream to see and they later released to the general public. First of all, RWBY Volume 4 has its release date October 22nd this year, and it came with a lovely poster of RWBY's new outfit. They've aged everyone up a little bit. They said there's been a time skip that's about 6 to 8 months. They don't, again, want to give a proper figure on that. All the characters are older now, they all look different, and they all have new outfits. And speaking of new outfits, they released concept art after the panel of each of Team RWBY's new outfits, and I absolutely adore them. I'll put them up on the screen now. This one is RWBY's. It is, albeit very similar to her original, but it is more grown up. Her stockings, instead of going all the way under her dress now and they go halfway up her thigh, her cape and her stockings and everything is ripped. It looks really gritty and like she's definitely been on the road for a while fighting Grimm. Her hair is a little bit longer at the back, and she's now got this nice strapless dress with these sort of sleeves. It's really sort of Middle Ages warrior princess style, and I really like it. Now we have Weiss's. This one is my favorite. I absolutely adore the look of this dress. Again, it's an incredibly similar style to her other one. She's still got the princess cut strapless dress. It's still the same length, the ribbon around the waist, and she still has that same sort of style of jacket, although now it's not really a jacket, it's more of a bolero type thing. Also, it says there that it is sheen, and she has this really nice neck jewelry with a big sapphire in it. The shoes I'm not so keen on. I guess I could warm up to the shoes, but I don't know about the shoes. Also, looking at this, it looks like her ponytail is back in the middle of her head, which upsets me a little bit. Weiss's sideways ponytail has kind of become her signature. It also had a lot to do with her rebelling against her father. I hope they don't stick with the middle thing. I like it on the side. It's gonna look really weird, I think, if they put it in the middle, but we'll see what happens with that. I also really like the alternate version of the dress. It says occasion there. It's the same dress, just with a longer skirt and petticoat, and it's gorgeous. I love it. And here is Blake Blake's, I also really love this one. Her boots might be my favourite part, and her coat. It's really grown up for Blake. She really looks like some kind of rogue shadow warrior. The detailing that they've done on these outfits is really nice. And now she finally gets rid of that awful white backpack that she used to wear and trades it just for a strap instead. Of all the 4 girls' storylines this season, I'm most unsure about where Blake is going to be heading. And this sort of gives me kind of a clue as to what she might be up to. And finally we have Yang's, which I'm not too crazy about. In comparison with the other 3, it's just boring really. But having said that, I understand why she's wearing something more casual like this. It sort of confirms where I thought her story would be going this volume, which is it's not really going to be going anywhere. This outfit says to me Yang's going to be sitting at home feeling sorry for herself for quite a while, which she is entitled to. The girl did just lose an arm. But I really hope that we'll get to see the old Yang back before the end of the volume. I hope this isn't going to be her outfit for the entire volume. And everybody is wondering about whether or not she's going to get a robotic limb. I think if it happens, it will either happen late in volume 4 or not till volume 5. I also like that they put a bumblebee on her pants. That's a sneaky little touch there. They also gave us some concept art for the new Grimm. This is the Beowulf here. They've made them look a little scarier, with black smoke and really glowing red eyes. A lot more spines on them, they're bigger. They did say on the panel that the Grimm outside of the kingdoms are very different from the Grimm that live within the kingdoms. So we're heading for a more grittier, scarier type of Grimm, which I'm really looking forward to. Because the Grimm have always been this sort of looming threat, but they've never really been very intimidating. They've lacked that sort of fear quality. But this Beowulf looks heaps scary to me. I would be terrified of that thing. That pretty much does it for everything that they showed on the panel. They did talk about quite a lot. If you do want to see the panel, there are multiple versions on YouTube. Again, I'm not going to leave any links because I don't want the people that uploaded those to get in trouble. If you want to find it, it is out there. Go search for it of your own volition. Now to get to those announcements of mine. So first announcement is to do with what am I doing for Volume 4 in lieu of reviews. You all might remember that at the end of my Chapter 12 review for Volume 3, I said that I would not be doing reviews for Volume 4, but I would be doing something else instead. Well, now that we have a release date for Volume 4, I feel like it's time I told you all what is going to be happening. Are you ready for this? So some of you may know of my friend Corey. Corey is a fellow Rooster Teeth and RWBY fan like myself. He has been in a lot of gaming videos on this channel. Most recently, he was in The Walking Dead Michonne. So for Volume 4, he and I are going to be co-hosting a RWBY podcast. You heard right, a podcast. It's called the Boopcast and it's going to feature me and Corey as co-hosts and then special guests from things like RWBY the Abridged series, as well as other people from the RWBY community. We don't have a release date for the podcast yet. All I'll say is that once the RWBY Volume 4 trailer has been released for the public, expect the first episode of the podcast to come out after that. We will do an introductory episode after the trailer comes out where we will talk about the trailer, talk about our predictions for Volume 4, and just generally introduce the podcast and let you guys know what will be happening with it, who will be on it, and we will do one for each episode of Volume 4 after they're released. I'm not going to tell you which day after each episode because we have to work that out still. I think it's going to be great and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Also, it's a good way for you all to hear not just my voice and my opinions on the episodes, but the voices and opinions of others. And now for my second announcement, which I'm really excited to tell you all. I am going to RTX Sydney 2017. That's right, I've got my weekend passes, I've booked a hotel. Myself and my husband are going to fly to Sydney in February to attend RTX Sydney 2017. For those of you who don't know where Sydney is, it is in an eastern state called New South Wales in Australia, which is where I live. Just to give you an idea, here is where I live in Adelaide, and here is where we'll be flying to the convention. It's about a 2-hour flight. It's my first RTX. I wasn't able to go to RTX AU this year, and I'm really excited to be going. Also, if you're Australian and you want to go to RTX Sydney, tickets are on sale right now at rtxsydney.com. And if you are going to RTX Sydney and you watch my videos and you happen to see me there, please don't be afraid to come up and say hello, ask for a picture, whatever. It would be so amazing seeing if I could actually meet some of you so I know that you're real. And that's more or less it for news and announcements today. Also, there are heaps more RWBY Volume 3 videos on the way. I have so much editing to do. That pretty much does it for me. Social media here, subscribe up there, other videos down here. Please check out my Patreon page and consider supporting the channel on a monthly basis. And I'll see you in whatever video I appear in next. Bye!